transliterator.
Coming up on Citrus TV News, we'll take a look at a new advising program on campus.
Students on campus celebrated the kickoff of Hispanic Heritage Month.
Hillary Clinton is back on the campaign trail. We'll tell you where she was today.
All that and more coming up on Citrus TV News.
Citrus TV News live at 6, your campus news leader.
Good evening and welcome to Citrus TV News live at 6. I'm Michael Tricarico.
And I'm Jackie Prager. Orange Central kicks off this weekend, and that's our top story tonight. Syracuse University alumni will return to campus this weekend for Orange Central. It's a once-a-year celebration for the entire SU community.
Key events on the calendar this weekend, which you can see on the screen here, include a presentation by Aaron Krause, who created the successful Shark Tank product, Scrub Daddy.
There's also a homecoming dance showcase and award ceremony for Whitman alumni.
A Whitman School of Management program has received a top ranking. It's called the Entrepreneurship and Emerging Enterprises Program, or EEE for short. College Factual ranked the program #1 in the country for veteran enrollment. The program also comes in at #2 overall for entrepreneurship.
Syracuse is piloting a new system for students to get in touch with their advisor called Orange Success. Citrus TV reporter Shruti Marathe gives us a closer look.
The Syracuse University faculty is collaborating for success. This August, the school piloted the new program Orange Success campus-wide. The software is meant to keep students on track and assist with advising. In the past, students would get conflicting advice when they encountered problems with academics. Director of Retention Kal Srinivas says the new system will resolve this issue.
The benefit of this system is it's transparent. Everybody can see the information with whom you have a relationship at the same time, but yet using it for different purposes.
Orange Success is expected to be especially helpful to freshmen entering Syracuse.
I didn't have anything like that my first year, which I really wish I would have, because it's just a lot to deal with your first year, and having an easy way to reach out to your professor or advisor when you need help or need their input is really helpful.
The website allows students to request assistance in 4 different areas: advisor, coursework, rooming, and transferring. The rooming and transfer options were added in response to student feedback. The Orange Success team is still looking for new ways to amend and improve.
Well, I see it kind of branching out and expanding and being more particular to student needs. We do want it to be very student-focused and make sure the students are using it and it's supporting them.
Orange Success intends to add even more new features in the spring of 2017. Shruti Marathe, Citrus TV.
Orange Success was piloted in 3 individual SU colleges last year. 2016 marks the first year all undergraduates have access to the software.
Syracuse University is celebrating Constitution Day today. The holiday is meant to celebrate the history of our founding document. Free pocket constitutions were available at Byrd Library for students and faculty to take. This helps fulfill federal laws requiring universities to educate students on the Constitution. Students and faculty across the Syracuse campus gathered today to kick off Latino Heritage Month. The nationwide celebration runs from September 15th to October 15th. Organized by the Office of Multicultural Affairs, members of the SU community paraded up and down the promenade before gathering in the Shine Atrium to hear remarks that kicked off the month-long event. A proclamation from Governor Andrew Cuomo's office was read by a representative.
Our state's Hispanic and Latino communities reinforce the Empire State's reputation as a cultural capital of the world, as all New Yorkers are inspired to participate in our state's proud and long-standing tradition of expressing appreciation for our many Latino communities.
Syracuse University says donor support has increased 50% during the past 3 years. Donations have risen from $72 million in 2014 to $108 million in 2016. More than 20% of graduated students have donated to the university in the past 2 years. Administrators believe the increase is due to campus framework projects and the academic strategic plan.
The Salvation Army Civic Celebration had a celebrity appearance. Pretty Women star Richard Gere served as the guest speaker for the event. Gere grew up in North Syracuse and said his portrayal of a homeless man in one of his films made him realize how little attention the issue gets. And we'd like to bring your attention to an error we made yesterday. We said Vincent Giordano won the Republican primary for the seat in the 127th Assembly. The Onondaga County Board of Elections said that the race remains too close to call and the official results will not be released until Tuesday. We apologize for the error.
Syracuse has made an unfortunate list. It is now the 29th poorest city in America, and 31% of residents live below the poverty line. This is according to the U.S. Census Bureau. Along with Buffalo and Rochester, it makes upstate New York one of the most impoverished regions in the country. The same survey also found 3.5 million fewer people living in poverty nationwide since last year. And the father arrested for killing his 21-month-old baby last February has pled guilty. Ryan Lawrence admitted to killing a baby with the baseball bat before burning her body for 3 hours, then throwing it into Onondaga Creek. He has been sentenced to 25 years to life in prison.
Onondaga County Executive Joni Mahoney does not want to raise property taxes, but her proposed budget for next year does include an increase in sales tax. Mahoney's $1.3 billion budget asked the county legislature to increase spending by about $36 million. Also in the budget is a government buyout for nearly 200 employees. Legislators approved the buyout earlier this month and will vote on a final budget on October 11th. And the Federal Reserve Bank of New York says manufacturing in New York State remained low this month. Factories reported fewer new orders, lower shipments, and reduced staffing levels. This report suggests that manufacturers are still struggling with the sharp rise of the value of the dollar in the last 18 months. Coming up after the break, we'll have an update on the road to the presidential election in November.
And an update on the Syrian ceasefire.
Right now, we're looking at 70 degrees was our high today, but we got out to a bit of a cool start. Temperatures this morning were in the mid-40s, but the bright sunshine and a few clouds with nice calm winds was resulting in what might be our first day of fall. Are we in store for a nice coming weekend? I'll answer coming up in your exclusive Citrus TV 5-day forecast.
Visit aarp.org/caregiving for information on how to provide even better care for the person who wants to care of you.
I want to eat apples and bananas. I need to eat apples and bananas. Why can't I eat?
1 in 5 children struggles with hunger in America. Support the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks to help provide meals to those in need. Join us at feedingamerica.org.
Hey, Hard, what's this?
That's my resignation letter.
You're resigning.
Why? Because you're constantly ignoring me. You're half as active as you used to be, and you eat stuff like this. You've been putting me under a lot of pressure lately. That's why I'm ready to quit.
I forgot. I'll do better. Please, don't quit on me.
Okay, but remember, it's not what you say, it's what you do.
Listen to your heart. Don't let it quit on you.
Let's go for a walk.
Uncontrolled high blood pressure could lead to a stroke, heart attack, or death. Get yours to a healthy range before it's too late.
The family of a Texas woman who was found dead in her jail cell has settled with the sheriff's office. Sandra Bland was found dead 3 days after being arrested for failing to use her turn signal.
The settlement is for $1.9 million. The sheriff's office has also agreed to install sensors and hire an on-duty nurse.
The Atlantic Ocean now has a national monument. President Obama announced the creation of the Northeast Canyons and Seamounts Marine National Monument today.
Obama says the planet cannot be protected without the safeguards of the ocean. The monument covers 5,000 square miles of underwater canyons and mountains off the New England coast. It's the 27th time Obama has created or enlarged a national monument.
Donald Trump appeared on the Dr. Oz show yesterday to disclose the information from his latest physical.
The letter from Trump's doctor, Harold Bornstein, states Trump's weight, cholesterol, blood pressure, and other figures. Bornstein concluded that Trump is, quote, in excellent physical health.
And Hillary Clinton is back on the campaign trail, making stops in North Carolina and Washington, D.C. They're her first public appearances since she left the 9/11 Remembrance ceremony early.
Clinton's doctor later says she was fighting pneumonia. Clinton's team says the presidential candidate spent her time sharpening her message to potential voters.
An ex-militiaman from the Philippines is testifying against the country's current president. He's saying he heard Rodrigo Duterte order mass killing of criminals, including feeding a suspected kidnapper to a crocodile.
A current senator told the court that the president will not have immunity because of his position. Duterte declined to comment earlier today, but here's what his spokeswoman had to say.
Do you think the president is capable of giving such directive?
Do I think he's capable? No, I don't. No, I don't think he's capable of giving a directive like that.
One person is dead and 44 people are injured in Taiwan after a typhoon hit the island and southeastern China. Typhoon Meranti has knocked out power in almost 1 million homes and water in more than 700,000 homes.
Chinese and Taiwanese weather authorities are calling it the strongest storm so far this year. China's Meteorology Center is downgrading Meranti to a tropical storm. They also expect the storm to fade as it moves north.
An ex-Guantanamo prisoner is in a coma after going on a hunger strike. The prisoner was unhappy about being moved to Uruguay instead of joining his family in Turkey.
He had been gone for 12 days without water before he was found. He is being treated in his apartment in accordance with his wishes.
The United States is planning to take in more than 100,000 refugees from around the world next year. This is a 30% increase from the 85,000 that were allowed in last year.
More than a third of the refugees will come from conflict areas like the Middle East. The announcement follows the United States reaching its goal of admitting 10 million refugees.
Russia has accused the U.S. of not following its obligations in the Syrian ceasefire. The country says moderate forces have increased their attacks on residential neighborhoods.
The ceasefire was starting to get supplies to civilians. The U.S. says the ceasefire hasn't been perfect and there are violations on both sides.
And Ukraine is set to get help recovering from civil war. The International Monetary Fund will loan $17.5 billion to boost the country's economy. This loan is smaller than what the IMF has promised in the past. They say reforms are needed before more can be given.
A wing flap found in Tanzania is confirmed to have come from the missing Malaysia Airlines Flight 370. The debris was found back in June. Experts previously said the flap was likely to come from the missing plane. Officials still don't know where the plane crashed or whether the diversion was intentional. And after the break, Brendan Tierney will have your full weather forecast.
And if you're looking to buy a new iPhone tomorrow, you may not be able to. We'll have the story.
Fancy pants peanut butter? A big screen television? You haven't even bought a sofa yet. A motorcycle? When your father finds out, he's gonna flip his shoes with 2 buckles? What do you even need 2 buckles for?
Mr. Big Shot, buying whiskey shots for everybody in the bar.
From the looks of it, I'd say nobody even remembers. Feed the pig.
Adventure can be found anywhere, but the best place to start is in the forest.
I spy something beginning with S.
Snow.
No.
Snow-covered trees.
Nothing to do with snow.
Head outside to discover incredible animals and beautiful plants that come together to create an unforgettable adventure.
Wow.
So grab your loved ones.
Don't even.
And explore a world of possibilities.
Come on, this way.
Visit discovertheforest.org to find the closest forest or park to you.
You've messed up your son's haircut.
Mom?
Do you A, try to fix it?
Like it never happened.
B, work with what you got? Or C, show solidarity?
Thank you, babe. As a parent, there are no perfect answers. But you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
I see you mobbing over her. Let's go. Let's mob. Let's crawl. Let's crawl. Let's crawl. Hey, yo, we mobbing. Come on, girl. Let's crawl. Hey, yo, let's crawl. Hey, yo, let's crawl. Hey, let's crawl. Hey, yo, let's crawl.
Today started off a little chilly, but it turned into a beautiful day.
Brendan Tierney is in studio with the full forecast.
Thanks, Jackie and Tricky. Definitely nice day overall. It turned out to be nice around the region as well. We're looking at 69 degrees in Syracuse, 68 up in Rome. Along the south, a bit warmer. We're seeing 70 in Binghamton, 67, I should say, up in Rochester as well. And nice and dry as well. Taking a look across the region, nothing really on the radar at all. Unfortunately, it's not that way across the entire country. Take a look down south. Tropical depression Julia is currently was degraded today from a tropical storm to a depression, but it's still causing some havoc. Parts of North Carolina and South Carolina are affecting some low-level flooding along the coast. Luckily, not going to hit us directly, but it will be affecting us via a low-pressure system that will be moving through the area. If we can possibly move along here, you'll be able to see a trough that's moving through the area. Not bad at all. Hopefully, we can move on here and take a look at that map. Nice overall in the area. That trough, however, will be moving some rain into the region as we advance now. There we go. Nice. You can see the cold pressure system to our south. The high pressure is going to move out of here as we get into the weekend, and the rain, the low pressure that's in Minneapolis right now, will be hitting us pretty hard. So for the football game on Saturday, basketball is not quite here. 80% chance of thunderstorms are likely, and probably going to affect the tailgate. Unfortunately, it's going to be a little wet for the day overall. Taking a look at your Citrus TV 5-day forecast tomorrow, Friday, the nicest day of them all, 77 degrees, nice and sunny. Into the weekend, we have two basically mirror days, 78 on Saturday as well as Sunday. Pretty wet on Saturday and Sunday. Thunderstorms in the area that will be hanging around into Monday. Overall, Monday it will be clearing as we get into the afternoon. And then Tuesday, chances of some storms come back into the area. Not bad overall, 78 degrees is your high.
Well, thanks, Brendan. So we saw these really cold temperatures this morning. Do you think they're going to continue?
Unfortunately, the lows are still pretty cold, and we're moving into the fall temperatures finally. It's a little sad to say, but September's on its way.
Not too excited about that.
And for the football games moving forward the rest of the season, not just this Saturday, but future Saturdays, how's the weather going to be for those tailgates?
Well, not bad overall. Normal fall temperatures will be moving to the areas we get into October and November, but cold this weekend. One thing to note, umbrellas are not allowed into the Carrier Dome, so if it's raining, make sure you have a rain jacket.
All right. Thanks so much,
Brett. Thanks, guys.
Two agricultural companies are merging to create an industry giant. The German chemical company Bayer is buying American seed company Monsanto. The two sides hope to address growing population problems with higher food production. Bayer paid $66 billion in cash for Monsanto. The deal has to be approved by antitrust officials in more than 24 countries. And the U.S. economy is being slowed down by one major thing, government gridlock. This is according to a report by Harvard Business School. The report says wealth is growing among fewer Americans, which slows economic growth. The report found that weaknesses for the economy include healthcare, the tax code, and public schools. Our financial markets and research universities are their strengths. This benefits only highly skilled workers who are more likely to be wealthy.
Hoping to get your new hands on a new iPhone 7? You may have a harder time than you think. The new jet black version is already out of stock, and Apple says other colors are going quickly. The iPhone 7 Plus is sold out in every color. The new iPhone is scheduled for an official release on Friday. And the United States government has formally recalled the Galaxy Note 7. The phone has gained a reputation for catching fire while charging and occasionally exploding. Samsung has already stopped selling the phone and has asked users not to turn them on. Owners can get a free replacement at Samsung distributors.
Coming up, women's soccer looks to get their 4th straight victory tonight. I sit down with CitrusTV soccer beat reporter Nick Petriccioni after the break.
Taking care of a family member can lead to plenty of questions. Fortunately, there's a place to get the answers, for them and for you. Find articles, tips, and tools from experts and others who have been in your place. The Caregiving Resource Center at aarp.org/caregiving.
Welcome back. I'm Brianna Adams with your sports. Syracuse women's soccer are back home after a 3-game road trip. The Orange are on a roll, currently on a 3-game winning streak. SU is on one of their greatest runs since '97 and will start conference play against number 20 Notre Dame on Sunday. But before that, they will host Buffalo in their final non-conference match of the season. I'm here with women's soccer beat reporter Nick Petriccioni. Now, Nick, what can we expect coming tonight?
Well, it's a really big game in sorts of tempo. This is the last non-conference game that SU has to play. It's against Buffalo in about 40 minutes. So it's a really big tempo setter as they go to the ACC, because this is where they need to make their money, especially as out of the 10 games, 8 of those are against ranked opponents. So this is a really big block schedule. It's no more messing around for Syracuse after tonight.
And for tonight, do you have any key players that we should watch out for this game?
Stephanie Skilton, the senior out of Auckland, New Zealand. She's a forward, and she really brings the tempo on offense. We talk about how this team is so good defensively with 5 shutouts so far this season, but in order to win, you do need to score goals, so it's really big to have Stephanie Skilton out there. 3 goals in her last 3 games, including an OT winner against Cornell. So when she's going, she gets the whole team going, and they're better playing as a unit.
All right, thanks, Nick. Stephanie Skilton and the women's soccer team will play Buffalo tonight at 7. Now, down in the Bronx, the Bombers had a tough showing against Clayton Kershaw and the Dodgers. This was Kershaw's second start after missing the 10 weeks due to a herniated disc. Kershaw pitched 5 nearly perfect innings in the game that was delayed twice for rain. The game was 0-0 in the top of the 9th until third baseman Justin Turner grounded an RBI double off Yankees closer Dellin Betances. They would score 1 more run in the win. The Yankees are now 2 games back in the wild card. They will head on the road to face the Red Sox next at Fenway. New York baseball could not catch a break for the New York Mets, that is, as well. The NL East isn't even a glimmer in their eye. The second-place team is now 10 games back as they face the first-place Washington Nationals in D.C. Nationals pitcher Tanner Roark pitched 7 scoreless innings and allowed just 3 hits in the shutout. The Mets will next face the Twins in Citi Field. The second week of football kicks off tonight with a New York matchup, Jets versus Bills. Both teams are coming off losses. The Jets faced Cincinnati last week, and the Buffalo Bills faced the Ravens last week. The Jets would lose 23-22, where the Bills would lose to the Ravens 13-7.
And we'll be right back.
Stay with us.
This is the story of a boy who didn't talk for a long time. The boy liked things to always be the same. Any changes would scare and upset him. The unknown was an unfriendly place. The boy was very sensitive to lights and sounds. So he built secret hiding places where they couldn't get in. The boy didn't like looking people in the eye. He wasn't trying to be mean, it just made him feel uncomfortable. Sometimes he would flap his arms again and again.
One day, I found out I have something called autism. My family got me help. Slowly, I found my voice and learned all the ways I could live with it better.
Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org.
Here we go. We're gonna go out there in the rain. You're gonna get wet. All right, here we go. Oh, okay, quick. Oh yeah, yes. So much fun. Mwah.
All right, Brendan, what can we expect for our weather tomorrow when we wake up?
Well, not going to be bad overall tomorrow. The best day of our 5-day forecast. Let's take a look at your day planner right now. 56 degrees will be your 9 a.m. temperature, 71 at noon, and 74 will be coming in the afternoon. Your high will be 77 around 4 p.m. in the afternoon. Mostly sunny throughout the day. It's going to be another cold morning, however.
All right, thanks, Brendan.
Thank you.
And on this day in 1958, the famous Marilyn Monroe skirt scene was filmed. This scene has been recreated for more than 50 years. Monroe, born Norma Jean Mortensen in 1926, endured a difficult childhood before reaching national fame as a pinup girl.
In 1950, Monroe signed with 20th Century Fox, where she appeared in movies such as Gentlemen Prefer Blondes. Monroe married baseball star Joe DiMaggio in January 1954, but the couple were only together for several months before the infamous skirt scene.
DiMaggio was furious over the scene, calling it exhibitionist, and the couple filed for divorce a month later. Marilyn Monroe passed away in August 1962 due to an overdose on sleeping pills. Really kind of unfortunate to see that, huh?
I know, but it is an iconic scene, and she's going to be remembered for that, always.
And speaking of sports, we have Jets-Bills. Later today, what can we expect quickly for a preview there?
It's really up in the air. Sammy Watkins is out or questionable with a foot injury, as well as Ryan Fitzpatrick, the starting quarterback for the Jets, is 1-8 against head coach Rex Ryan, depending on what team he's on.
So it certainly will be interesting to see that. Thanks so much.
Thanks.
That's all for now. I'm Michael Tricarico. Thank you so much for joining us this evening.
And you can follow CitrusTV, and on behalf of all of us at CitrusTV, I'm Jackie Prager. Thanks for staying. Have a great night.